is the high-energy musical that took Broadway by storm, and now it has arrived in Toronto. The show is written by Broadway legend Harvey Fierstein and features music by Cyndi Lauper. The pair was in Toronto this weekend for the show's opening. Lauper also took part in the city's Pride festivities, acting as an international grand marshal of the parade on Sunday. I had a chance to sit down with Harvey and with Cyndi to talk about the show. Harvey and Cyndi, great to be able to talk to you about Kinky Boots. This is very exciting. It's been such a successful show. And, you know, from starting in Chicago and then obviously Broadway and the awards, and now it's very exciting for Canadians to have this show in Toronto. And great that you can both be here for the opening. Tell me about sitting back and looking at how successful this has been when you were there from the beginning. I'll ask you this first, Harvey.
Well, this is our fourth company because of the original company. Then there's the American tour, the North American tour, and then there's Seoul, Korea. Company was the third, and now this is the fourth company.
And Japan and Australia.
London's about to go into rehearsal, and so it's always exciting. It's exciting when a show becomes that kind of a hit, and you get to see it with different audiences. You know, it's I guess because you think of theater as just being like one place like Broadway, and unless you tour around, you don't realize that how great audiences are other places. I know this because I played a couple of years ago. I was here in Toronto. I did Fiddler on the Roof for 2 months and loved Toronto, and I love Toronto audiences. And I was here last night watching Kinky Boots, and it was that same feeling again. They're so smart in this. Well, they are. They're literate, and they're right there, and they're listening, and it's a good theater town with a good theater habit, and it's terrific. It was a pleasure in this gorgeous theater also.
You know, and thinking about writing the score and doing so much of this from the beginning, when you see the play again and again, is there something new in it?
It's a show.
Is there something new in it each time for you in terms of enjoying it and sitting back and being able to do that?
Well, it's always surprising to see it with a completely different cast, and the story just lives. Everything just lives. It lives on its own. And that to me is surprising. That's shocking to me, because I've never experienced this before. And, you know, I worry that turn the bass up, all that baloney. But the energy of the actors and the story and the way they embrace it and the way they embrace the music.
Tell me about working together. I mean, you obviously get along, but you would have had to have spent a lot of time together creating this.
Well, on the
together.
phone and on one, we talked a lot, 4 years, yeah. I was always calling him. I must have left some. I mean, he always tells a story about the time I forgot I was under the hairdryer and I started singing. But you know, I've been singing to him.
But during the period we wrote this in 4 years. During that period, she did a blues album and a tour and a Japanese tour. Wrote her autobiography. Did a reality show. Did all of her charity work, which is endless. I wrote Newsies, Casa Valentina. Did Fiddler on the Roof on tour. Did La Cage aux Folles on Broadway. Hairspray in the Hollywood Bowl. So the two of us were doing other stuff at the same time, and then we keep coming together to work on this. While Jerry Mitchell, who wrote and who directed and choreographed, was off doing his things. So we're all very creative people, and it was. But you form this little family, and so your family keeps coming together, and then we move apart, and they come together and move apart.
I think the saddest thing for me was the night we actually opened, because I was no longer, they didn't need me anymore. And I was no longer part of their little band.
So how come you keep showing up?
I don't know, I just do. I keep showing up.
Can't keep going.
And I know you've been in Canada many times and obviously done these shows and whatnot. So for Kinky Boots to be here means, what does it mean to you to be in Canada again?
Well, I listen, if when I was a kid, we did one of those Volkswagen bus tours, like after college.
Oh, yeah.
Across the entire country. We did all, started in Montreal to Vancouver and back again.
You did?
And I would never have left Canada if there was more theater in Vancouver, because I so fell in love with Vancouver. Yeah. But there was an art scene there, but it was not enough of a theater scene to keep me there. But I feel a great affinity with Canada. I don't know why.
I wanted to
Maple
become
syrup, I don't know.
No, I wanted to become...
It's not hockey. What did you want to become?
No, I came here when I was 18 years old, and I had a pack of cigarettes in my pocket. I didn't realize you weren't supposed to bring tobacco. I didn't know what that meant. You know, I had crumpled
the border
boxes of cigarettes, and they said, over there. And they were actually really kind to me. I was coming in to do a tree study at the Algonquin Provincial Park, and, you know, to find myself with my dog, Sparkle. And they helped me. They were kind to me, and I just always remember that Canadians were kind. And then when I became famous, I had so many great times here.
Yeah.
And I played the Maple Leaf Garden when it was Maple Leaf Garden.
It's a great music town.
It's
Toronto.
Yeah, it really is.
And you know, then my kid wanted to play hockey for a while when he was a kid. I can't tell you how many times we sang "Oh Canada" coming in on Air Canada, but we didn't know the rest of the words, which was not
I'll write
good.
them down.
Yeah. and you know, obviously, a big congratulations for the awards that the show's received, but also that you were the first single, you know, solo female writer to receive an award for a score like that. There have been, I believe, there's been a team since of women, but that's paving the way.
Well, the team of women that just won this year, that was also a first.
Yeah.
There's
The
never
first time
been two women.
Wow.
That two women wrote the lyrics, the book, and the music, and all female team writing.
They never had that before, which is fantastic.
And what went through your mind when you got that award?
Well, finally I was thinking, okay, now it's a hit, Hal, because Hal kept going, it's not a hit yet, it's not a hit yet. I was like, well, is it a hit now? You know? And, you know, also when she said, you know, they made a big deal and said girls just want to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden it occurred to me, you know, I was so wrapped up in Kinky Boots that I realized I'd come home.
Yeah.
It's just that you go all around the world looking for acceptance, and the way Broadway took me in, the misfit that people thought I was so stupid. Well, he didn't think I was stupid, even though I talk funny.
Really? Like that acceptance thing? Not now, though. You're so established and so successful.
That's what Kinky Boots is about. I mean, you know, Kinky Boots is about the fact you never outgrow your parents' approval.
Well, my mother
always want that
approved.
But they approve.
It was
and
the
they hold
people
it
on the
back a
block
little
that
bit.
used to throw rocks because they dressed funny. That kind of hurt.
Well, you know, we had to teach how to put the underwear on the inside.
This has been a delight to share some time with you about this. Congratulations on this being in Toronto now.
Thank you.
Really looking
Enjoy
forward
the
to
show
it.
when you see it.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
There'll be a link to Kinky Boots on our website, canadaam.ctvnews.ca.